Okay, hey, good morning. Here we are. It's Friday. I'm going to wait just a minute for people to join me while I get my hand cream going. I like my lotion, right? How are you? If you're joining me today, go ahead and drop in the comments where you're from, what you got going on today, huh? Today we're going to do chapters 9 and 10 of how to make 101 ways to make money in real estate, right? That's our theme this year. We're going to go through the whole list one by one, 101 ways, and you named the chapters. I went into a Facebook group, a large Facebook group of realtors, of course, and asked them if the name of the book is 101 Ways to Make Money with Real Estate, what is the name of the chapter? And they gave me 101 chapter names. So that's what we're doing this year. Driving by here. Hey, Lupia, how are you? Did I pronounce that right? Lupitia? Is that right? It's a very pretty name. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got on the burner here for today. All right, of course, we're doing this, right? Number 9. Oh, let me just say a few things while I got a few of you here. We're starting our workshop on Monday. This is going to be your last call weekend to get signed up for the social media domination workshop. Okay. Don't forget, don't wait till the last minute. Go ahead and jump in because I'm going to start doing some training over the weekend in there. And we're going to be focusing on Facebook Ad Manager. I want to make sure that everyone has their business manager account set up properly. Make sure your pixel is attached where it needs to be attached. Make sure your audiences are created. So, if you don't know how to do this stuff, invest in yourself to learn how to do Facebook targeted ads this year. And let me tell you what, you will have absolutely more control over your business when you learn how to be creative and create marketing that speaks to your avatar, not just, click on a few buttons and create an ad through my CRM. That is not the same thing. Okay. So if that's the extent of your Facebook marketing knowledge is to click the boost button, or maybe to click and create an ad in your CRM that looks like every other ad that has come out of that CRM. Can you imagine? Right? I see them all the time. And I've even collected several, and I'll show you, the pattern and exactly what they look like and the difference between, what creating an ad that speaks to your avatar can do. Because let me tell you what, when it comes to Facebook marketing these days, right, the consumer is getting smarter and smarter and smarter, right? So it's not as easy to capture leads on Facebook, but it is easy to capture an audience. And when you learn to stop putting out clickbait, right, with your Facebook marketing, you learn to attract people to you, because that's what Facebook can do for you. Facebook can put the people in front of your brand, but if your graphics, your videos, your messaging, if that falls flat, that's where you're wasting your money, right? Facebook can absolutely put eyes on your brand, but if your material and your content falls flat, you're not going to generate anyone in your world, okay? And that's what I'm about, is creating an ecosystem for my consumers that they can be in my world for decades, right? Right? Does your content deliver decades worth of content that is engaging? There's a trick to that, okay? All right, so that's the workshop. That's all we're going to talk about there, okay? Let's move on to what we're doing this year, 101 Ways to Make Money with Real Estate. And chapter 9 is pulling it out of your ass or winging it will only get you sued, okay? Now, that is a good topic, and I'm a firm believer that if you save money, you are making money, right? So same difference, isn't it? So let's just talk about something you might pull out of your ass in this business that might get you sued, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't really wing it too much. I'll be honest with you. I'm a thinker. I think down the whole path. But let's talk about, and let's take out that sued word. Let's change it with pulling it out your ass and winging it won't make you any money. Let's put it that way. Okay. Because when you pull it out of your ass, let's talk about anything that you're doing. For example, targeted Facebook ads. Okay. If you're just pulling it out of your ass or you're just winging it because it's easy to click on the boost button or it's easy to click on, your ad creator in your CRM, you're definitely not living up to the potential that your brand could live up to. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So that's definitely one way that you can absolutely make money in this business, is to focus on doing something the right way. I'm working with a new coaching student, Kim, who is excited, and she's got her broker license and she's just setting up her firm. Okay. Now, she was wise to seek guidance, right? Instead of winging it or, blowing it out of her ass and trying to set her whole corporation up by herself. Okay. Now, yeah, you can probably Google something, but isn't it always much better to really have a conversation with someone who has walked that path before you and can guide you and say, no, So don't pull things out of your ass, right? Don't pull your marketing out of your ass, and don't wing your marketing, right? You can't just wing your marketing. It's got to be precise. It's got to be something that speaks to your avatar. Now, when I say that, what is that? I get a lot of that. I've had somebody say, what the hell is an avatar, right? And that's where you really got to sit down and think about who your customers are and who you attract with your brand. That is your avatar, okay? And they're going to look a lot like you. They really are, right? Because like attracts like, okay? So the messaging that you put out there is the messaging that you attract, okay? So for example, I see the biggest mistake I'll see on winging their marketing and pulling it out their ass is they'll just say, call me to help you buy or sell your next home or your next piece of real estate. Well, that's going to fall flat every single time. You know what I mean? So you have to learn how to craft that message specifically to your avatar. So if you are in an oceanfront condo market with maybe senior citizens, or if you're in a first-time home buyer market, these messages need to be crafted specifically. For example, one of the ads that I have created recently that I'm going to teach and show next week, in our market here in Central Florida, we got hit. It's not unusual for us, of course, to get hit with a hurricane. It happens every year, right? Some years are worse than others and some are better than others. But typically, it's not unusual. For example, we had two really bad hurricanes this past fall. And, that takes a lot of roofs off. You can start to see the construction happening all around me now, where a lot of roofs are getting put on, right? Because the insurance has started to pay out. So that's my avatar. You know what I mean? Those are the people, those are homeowners. I know those frustrations, okay? Because I have worked my market for 20 years. But I know that typically some of those homeowners, if they've fallen behind on their mortgage, right, that insurance check is going to go straight to their mortgage company and be held in escrow. And they're going to have a difficult time getting their home repaired, right, if they were delinquent. Okay, it's just the way they function, and they don't want to release that money in case they need to repair the house themselves, because, and I have worked transactions where I have purchased a property that was storm damaged. They couldn't live in it anymore. Mold was starting to grow. They had $40,000 sitting in their escrow account with their mortgage company for the repair money. They couldn't get it released. They couldn't get the work started on their house. They just gave up. They wanted to move out of state at that point. So I was able to negotiate a net transaction to pay off their existing mortgage. And that's what I paid for the house, exactly what they owed against it, right? Because they had $40,000 sitting in their escrow account with their mortgage company that would come back to them after the note was paid in full. So that was the equity. That was the cash that they net out of the transaction. And I picked up the house, for a very good price for just the balance that was owed. Okay. And so these are some things that you want to make sure that you're not winging, right? You're not winging this kind of stuff, and that you know exactly what your avatar is about to go through. So my marketing today says, hey, I understand the frustrations you're dealing with when your home needs repair, that maybe it was damaged in the storm. This is the whole script in my ad. So it creates a hook, a story, a lesson, a call to action, and a summary. Okay. That's the whole breakdown of what your ad should encompass, not just hey, call me if I can help you buy or sell a piece of real estate. Okay. You got to get more creative to get people into your world. Okay. So don't wing your marketing. Don't pull that out of your ass. That needs to be specific. That needs to be targeted. And if you want to work with sellers, target sellers. Speak to sellers. Don't even mention buying a home. Speak directly to the seller who needs to sell in your market, right? You've got to figure out who needs to sell. So for me, for example, in the next 6 months, in my spring market, there's going to be a lot of people that need to sell because they've had hurricane damage, or they can't get their money, or maybe they've gotten a repair. And, let me tell you what, every spring, there's always a slew of people after a hurricane that just don't want to even live in Florida too much. A hurricane is just too much for their psyche. And once they live through one of them, they need to get out of Florida. So we have a slew of people every spring that just want to get out of Florida because there's no way that they can live through another hurricane. Okay, there's those people too. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I see your comments in there. Thank you for joining me today. All right. So that's what we're talking about. A few things, about, winging it and pulling it out your ass. Don't do that with your marketing. Okay. Let's go to the next. Okay. I should have had that up. If you're going to do something, do it right, and you'll always make money with it. Okay, so chapter 10. Boo, 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 boo. Chapter 10, we're moving right along here, right? Stop making excuses. That's point blank, isn't it? Stop making excuses, because every time you make excuses for yourself, you are holding yourself back, and you're definitely not going to make money when you make excuses. Okay, that's pretty simple, isn't it? And we all tell ourselves the excuses, don't we? I posted that in the group the other day. If you want to add to that comment, go ahead. I'd like to know what excuse you tell yourself every day, right? There's something every day that you have an excuse for, and you should be doing something different for your business, but that laundry needs to be done. The dog needs to be walked. You just don't feel like it. You're not, I'm going to tell you, the hardest thing you ever can do in this business is to work from home, honestly, because when you work from home in this business, and you have the freedom to absolutely do that, but I can tell you, it was a struggle transitioning from, we had a brick and mortar business for a good 15 years or more. We had a brick and mortar building. And when you got a brick and mortar building that you owned, and you get up and you go to work every day, that's a different story, right? you're working your business when you get up, get dressed, get your makeup on, and go to the office and spend the day at the office, right? That feels like work, doesn't it? All right. Well, a couple years ago, due to health reasons, and we're just, we've shifted up our business over the course of the last 3 to 4 years. We actually started doing this even before the pandemic. But our goals shifted where we wanted a business that we could manage and work and still make 6 figures. I have never failed to make 6 figures in this business, right? Through multiple streams of income. That's easy to do. But our goal was we wanted to have a business that does not tie us down to a physical location anymore. We wanted to work from home. We wanted to be able to travel to our cabin when we want to go, and we want to still be able to make money and be able to work our business from our phone. We do a lot of property management today. We do Airbnb co-hosting, and of course, we flip and renovate properties as well. So, we've got ourselves in a position where we no longer have to actually sell homes to make a living, okay? We still do that, but it isn't our focus. And we primarily just serve our audience. I don't really chase business anymore, but we'll still knock out a good 24, 25 transactions a year just that fall on our lap, right? And then we've got property management that we actually focus on. Okay. So those are some things that you can consider for yourself when you stop making excuses, right? And you actually sit down and you become honest with yourself as what you want your business to look like, what you want your next 5, 10, 15, and 20 years to look like. Now, I can tell you, when I started my business, I certainly didn't give too much of thought what it would look like in 20 years. Or the thoughts that I did have absolutely have changed. I think when you're young and you're in your 30s and you're in that growth mode, and you are just, you've got that opportunity in life in your 30s and 40s to really dig deep and build something. And we did. We were proud of what our business accomplished. We had 25 agents at one point. We did bank foreclosures for 12 years. We listed and sold bank foreclosures. We've done a lot of things in our career and our business that we absolutely wouldn't change for the world, but your business does change. As you change, your business changes, and it's okay. Whatever direction it changes is entirely up to you, right? When you stop making excuses. So if you want to build a huge business with a large sales team, you can do that, okay? Or if you just want to stay a boutique brokerage with 5 and under, you can do that too. You know what I mean? Don't let people make you feel like you're not going to be successful unless you build big, right? You know what I mean? You can listen to some people out there on Facebook and they just think that, if you aren't big, that you're not making a living. Well, that's just not the case, is it? Right? That's just not the case. Everyone is going at their own pace, building their own business. And when you stop making excuses and that, what is that called? Imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome. I think a lot of agents experience imposter syndrome. Otherwise, why would they not give themselves a promotion, right? What other business or job or career can you give yourself your own promotion, right? All you got to do is sign up for that broker course as soon as you're eligible and pass that test. And you have given yourself a promotion, right? You have absolutely given yourself a promotion when you do that. Now, those who know me that, when we started our business, we got this idea in class when we were taking our agent course. Hey, okay, I can hire a broker of record. I can be stockholder, right? In the state of Florida, licensed agents can be stockholders in the corporation. They can't be corporate officers, but they can be stockholders. They can own the business. And so we hired a broker of record right out the gate. We hired a broker of record, formed our own business, our own brand, our own corporation. We owned it, right? We owned it. We made the decisions, not our broker. Our broker just took his check. That's all he wanted, right? And he wasn't even coaching us back then. I had to figure it all out by myself. Legal Hotline was my best friend, okay? Let me tell you. But you can do that, right? When you stop making excuses, you can step out on faith, get your broker license, and hang your own shingle, right? That is absolutely the best thing you will ever do for yourself, okay? And I encourage everyone to consider getting their broker license this year, okay? Because you can be a broker of one. That's it. You can be a broker of one if you want. You don't have to share your income with anyone. You've got your own brand. You've got your own tools. It's not hard, okay? It's not hard. I help agents make that transition, right? You want to put that platform in place so that you have absolutely a pipeline, maybe for the first time in your career. I work with agents that, have the capability of generating business, but it doesn't stick to them because they don't have the pipeline in place to nurture that relationship for the next decade. When you help a homeowner become a homeowner, statistically, they're going to sell every 5 to 7 years. Do you have a pipeline in place that can nurture those people for 15 to 20 years, right? So that's what most agents aren't prepared with when they want to get their broker license and consider branching out. Most agents don't have a proper pipeline in place, okay? So that's what our workshops do. We break it down, one topic a month. This month, we're going to do the social media again. We did social media in September. We're going to focus on that because that's what I feel like most agents need help with, just find somebody you connect with. If it's not me, I'd love to have you in the workshop, but find somebody that you connect with, that you like attracts like, right? I've been known to drop a shit bomb here and there, but if that offends you, I'm not your girl. Okay. So I'm just being honest, right? You know what I mean? But rest assured, you can drop a shit bomb to me and I won't be offended. Okay. Find somebody you can connect with, somebody that's going to roll up their sleeves and work with you and teach you how to do this, because you can't just learn it in a 4 or 5 hour workshop. You can get the concepts and the tools necessary to follow through and get it all put into place, but it takes time. Give yourself grace. All of this takes time, right? It takes time. My pipeline, my nurture process, everything that I do is successful for me because I've been doing it for over a decade, right? I teach it, nurturing on your email list and building an email list and working your social media onto an email list, because you don't own your audiences, right? You own what you have an email for. That's what you own, okay? That's what you have to nurture. And you can't do that with canned drip email campaigns. You can't do that with that crap. You will not maintain those people for 20 years with canned drip email campaigns. Ain't gonna happen, okay? So you've got to find a way to get more personal with these people. I've been nurturing my email list for over a decade. I have conversations every week with my email list, okay? And when I'm teaching my students, Kelly has testified a few times in the group. She started working her email list diligently in September after the first social media workshop, and it's taken her 5 months before she's starting to see some traction, some response, right? Some engagement. But now she is. For the last 4 weeks in a row, she's had engagement and she's starting to see the momentum. Okay. You can't expect to get my results the first email you drop to your audience, or the first email, or the fifth email even. It's taken her 5 months to get some traction. But now she's got it. Now she's got the momentum. Now it's going to move forward from there. Okay. You can't give up after 30 days of emailing your list on a personal level. They don't know who you are. You never talked to them like that before, right? You know what I mean? They don't know what is this? What is this, right? Right? You got to train your audience. But I want you to keep this in mind. It's not about the clickbait. It's not about how many people you can capture with a lead form from Facebook. Because let me tell you what, those leads, they're garbage. They're garbage. So if anybody was frustrated with the leads that they've captured on Facebook, it's because you're functioning like an e-commerce business. You're putting ads out there like a major brand might, that can capture a sale with a click, a Nike ad, for example, right? You're not Nike. You know what I mean? You're not going to get somebody to just click like that. All right. You've got to get out of that mindset that that's how to generate leads on Facebook, because the reality is you got to just get people into your world through Facebook, and they need to hang around you so that when they're ready, they have that relationship with you and they're going to raise their hand. And that's, you're not competing anymore. They're simply going to raise their hand out of your audience and say, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to buy a house. Or, hey, I need to sell my house. You see, I don't compete for listings. I don't. I really don't. When I go into a listing appointment, I don't have to bring a fancy listing presentation. I don't have to bring a laptop. I don't have to show what I do. I don't. I walk into a listing appointment and I'm showing them the numbers and I'm making a plan and I'm formulating a strategy. And a lot of times I don't even sign the listing agreement when I'm there. I tell them, I'll have the listing agreement in your email through DocuSign by the end of the day. Sign that for me. Okay? I can even walk out of that listing appointment and have them waiting for my email to electronically sign their listing agreement, because they're not calling anybody else. They're not calling anybody else. They've been in my world for years. They know me. They're not calling anybody else. That's when you know you've really, really capitalized on your social media audience. Okay? Because if you're just out there TikToking and, you don't have a lead capture mechanism in those videos, if you're not driving that audience to an email list, you're building on rented land. You hear that all the time. You're building on rented land. That Facebook audience can be here today and gone tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's your email list that is the heart and soul of your business. So if I want to encourage you to do anything this weekend, I want you to just grab every email, every valid email that's in your world. I don't care if you scrub your phone, scrub your email list, get it all into one spreadsheet, right? That you can be able to do something with it. You need to be able to put it into an email platform and be able to begin nurturing them, right? Separate from your CRM. Okay? That's my homework for this weekend for you. Okay? But if you're going to join me in the workshop, we're going to work on the business manager. I got to make sure that your business manager is set up, because if you don't have your business manager set up correctly, you're wasting money trying to run targeted ads. Okay. You don't have access to all of the Facebook products. You probably can't even run a video view ad at all, to begin with. That's one thing that'll definitely hold you back. Okay. So you have to have that business manager set up. So if you don't know that your business manager is set up or not, that's the first thing we want to talk about. Okay. So, and I'm going to show you the tools that I use, of course, and then we're going to create some targeted Facebook ads. We're going to show you bad ads and good ads. We're going to get creative. I'm going to show you all my creative tools, right? And then we're going to focus on groups. I'm sorry, just need a little bit of water here. Facebook groups. Okay, you know that I am big on groups. Okay, if you create a group that's going to attract your avatar, and I'm going to show you group growth hacks to get that group up to 500. Okay, we want to get your groups up to 500 as quickly as possible, right? Because when Facebook sees that activity, they're going to put your group into that suggested for you group feed, right? And then it begins to grow organically. So those are some things we're going to focus on next week. Just 2 basics elements of my overall funnel. Okay. We're going to break it down. All right. And then we're going to work, of course, all of my workshops do give you the one-on-one coaching call that allows you and I to work privately and let me help you implement what you have learned. Okay. So sign up for the workshop. It starts Monday at 3 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to dive deep. We're going to go in a private group, and, we're going to share screen. I'm going to give you my tools, PDFs. You've got to log in to my website that has a private portal for you that will have all of your replays, all of your PDFs, all of your resources, everything that we talk about in there. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Hey, good morning, Andrea. How are you? Okay. Yes, the email list. Yeah, the email list is absolutely your heart and soul. And you can sell on your, you announce your new listings on your email list, drive traffic. I mean, I have a whole thing that I do for my email. I can't really go into it right now because it'll just overwhelm you, but it's a strategy. It's a strategy, and it's a particular process that I have worked for a decade. So I know that it works. Okay. All right. And if you don't have an email list outside of your CRM, outside of that drip email crap, okay, you're missing the boat. You're working harder and not smarter. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you go. I babbled enough. Okay. Let me know if you've got any questions. I will absolutely circle back around and answer them. And please go ahead and just pull the trigger. Sign up. It's $97. I'm definitely going to teach you something next week. All right. A class on email list. Yes. We are going to focus on nurturing the email list, creating the email list, building the email list, the whole 9 yards. Okay. I have a particular way of creating engagement. Okay. That I utilize, and that's what I teach. Okay. All right. Any questions? So this workshop, again, like I said, is just going to focus on targeted ads and Facebook groups. Okay. The next workshop will probably do handwritten notes and email. Okay. That's a proper pipeline. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Hope you got a little nugget today. Bye-bye.